Alright, so I'm going to teach you how to play Ballad of Big Nothing by Elliott Smith. And first things first, let's get the tuning. It's in open C, so C, G, C, E, G, C. Alright, so let's get started with the introduction. I'm going to teach you the way that he plays it on the way that he played it live, because I think that there are two guitars on the studio version. So just for a heads up, I'm going to be referring to this top string as the first string and this bottom string as the sixth string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it begins by sliding down from the 12th fret to the 4th fret on the 4th string with the ring finger. So it's like, and you can just strum those first, you can strum strings 3 through 6 when you get down to the chord there. So it's like, and then the second time it does that again. The second time though, it plays a different chord. It's you have your ring finger on the 4th fret on the 4th string, and your pointer finger, index finger, on the 2nd fret on the 5th string. So it's like this. And you can just strum these 3 strings here for that part. So that would be 3, 4, and 5. And then, so just what we have so far is like, and then instead of going back up to the 12, there's like a little dip down to the 2nd fret on the 4th string. So and back up to the 4. So that's the same as the first chord there. And then you go back up to the 12 and slide back down. So and back into this second chord that you play with the ring finger on the 4th fret on the 4th string, index finger on the 2nd fret on the 5th string. Okay, so then the second time of playing this chord, you transition out of it like this. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Okay, then it goes into the next part, which is like this. So for that, what I do is I put my thumb on the 5th fret on the 5th and 6th strings, index finger on the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and then you move up to the 6th fret on the 3rd string using the ring finger. So okay, so then if you're going to play it like you played it live, you add the thumb on the 2nd fret on the 5th and 6th strings, and you do like this. So what that is you first just strum the 5th and 6th strings, and then you add on top of those this little note, this little thing. So what that is these 4 strings open, and then you put the middle finger on the 2nd fret on the 4th string, index finger on the 1st fret on the 3rd string, and the ring finger on the 2nd fret on the 1st string. So okay, and then you move up to the 4th fret with your thumb on the 5th and 6th strings again, and you do a similar thing there. So first strum those two strings, the 5th and 6th, and then you hit strings 1 through 4, and you're doing a similar chord shape to what you did down here. It's in fact the same chord shape, you just move it up 2 frets. So ring finger on the 4th fret on the 1st string, open 2nd string, index finger on the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 4th fret on the 4th string. So, and then move the thumb up to the 5th fret on the 5th and 6th strings, and bring the index finger up to the 5th fret and just bar strings 1 through 4. You might be asking why I'm not just advising you to bar all 6 strings with the index finger, and the reason is that I find it easier to transition into the chord shape that way if you play it that way than if you play it this way. So let's just slow that down and play through it real quick. It sounds like this. Well, we didn't have that last chord yet, but that's how that sounds. And yeah, then you add in the last chord of the introduction, which is this one. That is the pinky on the 7th fret on the 1st string, open 2nd string, ring finger on the 7th fret on the 3rd string, index finger on the 5th fret on the 4th string, and the 5th string open, and you just don't play the 6th string there. So slowing that down and playing through it. Okay, so now we are past the introduction and into the verse, which conveniently starts on the same chord that the introduction ends on, and that's this one. Okay, so that next part follows the vocal melody. So you bring the ring finger up to the 10th fret on the 3rd string and just slide it up to 12, and then do 13, 12, and you know, that follows the dragging down the main. So on main there, you just bar the 2nd fret. Then you're back to this first chord, except it's a little different this time. You don't now have your pinky on the 7th fret on the 1st string. So the way that goes is like, so that is ring finger on the 7th fret on the 3rd string, index finger on the 5th fret on the 4th string, and then walking down. So now you've got ring finger on the 5th fret on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 5th fret on the 4th string, and then you put the ring finger on the 5th fret on the 4th string, and the index finger on the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. Then you do this same little thing, but at this point you bar the 5th fret afterwards instead of the 2nd fret. So Now, in the recording, there's this little walk up where it goes at that point. I actually think that that's probably just the bass guitar, because when he played it live, he never seemed to add that little walk up, at least in any of the videos that I've watched. But you can add it in if you want to. So if you do, it would just be putting the middle finger on the 6th fret there. So back to that same chord, and this time you just do that same little walk down pattern. So and then this thing again. Back to the 2nd fret, barring the 2nd fret there. And then you've got a new, I guess you'd say, a bridge part. Now you're playing basically the minor version of this chord. So to do that, you put your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the 6th string, ring finger on the 2nd fret on the 5th string, pinky on the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and your index finger on the 1st fret on the 3rd string. So I saw him down in the alley. So then you just, okay, that 2nd chord there, down in the alley, that is the same chord that you were playing in the verse. It's just the index finger, 5th fret, 4th string, and the ring finger, 7th fret, 3rd string. Then the next chord after that is this one. And that is just this minor chord that I taught you before, moved up to the 5th fret. So now it's middle finger, 5th fret, 6th string, ring finger, 5th fret, 5th string, pinky, 5th fret, 4th string, index finger, 4th fret, 3rd string. Okay. And then the next chord is new. So you've got it's like this. Ring finger on the 5th fret on the 4th string, pointer finger on the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 4th fret on the 2nd string, and this one open, the 1st string open, and also this 5th string open. So you play like that, and then move the, put the pinky then at the end there on the 5th fret on the 2nd string. And then you're into the chorus. So let's just play through that real quick. So the verse is like this. So the next part, similar to what you're doing in the verse, you're following the vocal melody. So you put the ring finger on the 10th fret on the 3rd string, slide up to that 12th fret there. And then the next chord is new. It is like this. So first string open, pinky on the 4th fret on the 2nd string, 3rd string open, ring finger on the 4th fret on the 4th string, index finger on the 5th fret on the 5th string. So just move the pinky from 4 to 5 there, and you're strumming everything on that chord except for the bottom string, the 6th string. And then you've got a kind of tricky part. So the way that I play this is like this. So what that is you put your middle finger on the 4th fret on the 3rd string, pinky on the 5th fret on the 4th string, ring finger on, oh my gosh, I meant to say, I don't know if I said this, pinky on the 5th fret on the 4th string, ring finger on the 5th fret on the 5th string, thumb on the 5th fret on the 6th string. So now what you do is you keep everything the same, except you take that thumb off the 5th fret and instead put on the 6th string, and instead put your index finger on the 2nd fret on the 6th string. So this chord requires some wingspan. It's kind of difficult to play. And then it closes out that sequence with this chord, which we've seen before. That is the, again, that's the middle finger on the 4th fret on the 2nd string, index finger on the 3rd fret on the 3rd string, ring finger on the 5th fret on the 4th string, and then you just play every string except for the 6th. You can touch. So, okay, it does that once, and then the second repetition through that progression, it's played differently. This part's the same. You can touch me, there's no stopping. I think that here he just plays this chord. The first time it goes up to that 5th fret there, but that's because it's following the vocal melody. And the second time the vocal melody doesn't go up like that, so I think he just keeps his pinky on the 4th fret there. And then instead of forming this chord the way we did before and doing that whole thing, what you do is form this chord the way you did in that bridge part by putting your middle finger on the 5th fret on the 6th string, ring finger 5th fret, 5th string, pinky 5th fret, 4th string, index finger 4th fret, 3rd string, and then so just move that whole shape down to the 2nd fret, except of course your index finger will be on the 1st fret. So, and then back to this thing, which was played at the end of the first run through this chorus progression. Okay, so let's just play through that last part. It's like this. So now what I think he's doing there is he's doing the same chord as the first chord in the first verse. So that means you've got your pinky on this 7th fret on the first string. That's the only thing I'm unsure about here. It may be that that string is played open, but either way, it sounds good, and you can listen for yourself and try to figure out whether he's playing that. So it's, you know, so it walks down again, like I taught you before, and then down every day. Then that verse from there is the same as the first verse as far as the guitar goes. Same with the bridge part leading into the next chorus. So it's okay, so the second chorus is the same as the first one, but at the end of the second one, you go into a new part, which is this. You can do what you want to, so that's familiar. This chord is also familiar, but at the end of the little vocal line there, you take the pinky off. So whenever you want to. So again, you're just following the vocal melody. Whenever you want to. Do that twice. Do what you want to, whenever you want to. Do what you want to, whenever you want to. Do what you want to, whenever you want to. So this chord we've seen a million times before. It's in the verses. So do what you want to. That's okay. Ring finger, 7th fret, 3rd string, index finger, 5th fret, 4th string. Do what you want to, whenever you want to. 4th fret barred. Then remember this chord, like minor chord we were doing down here. You bring that up to the 9th fret. So you've got middle finger, 9th fret, 6th string. Ring finger, 9th fret, 5th string. Pinky, 9th fret, 4th string. Index finger, 8th fret, 3rd string. Play those top 2 open. Though it doesn't mean a thing. Then just bar the 2nd fret there. Move it up to the 5th fret, just barring the whole thing. Big nothing. So we've seen that chord before. And then it just basically plays the intro over again. So So that little flourish is something that he did in some live versions. What you do is you put your ring finger across the first 3 strings on the 12th fret, and then index finger, first 3 strings, 10th fret, middle finger, first 3 strings, 11th fret, back to the ring finger on the 12th fret. So like this. Okay, so let's just play through it once.